Story about how Drake won a copyright infringement case by successfully claiming fair use, but I'm going to caution you not to read too much into this decision. Now, the original version of the song was by Jimmy Smith. It was on a jazz record. At the end of the jazz record, he did a spoken word bit he called Jimmy Smith Rap. He meant rap the way Woody Guthrie used to use it and not so much the way the Sugar Hill Gang did, and it went like this.
We just laid back and just chopping on chicken and having a ball. Jazz on real music's gonna last. All that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow. But jazz was, is, and always will be. We may not do.
Now, Drake's team got a license, but only for the sound recording. They didn't get a license for the underlying compositional element. And they used it on the Pound Cake song on the Nothing Was the Same album, and it went like this.
As we enjoy playing it for you, because we had a ball. Only real music's gonna last. All that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow.
They used approximately half of a minute long part of that Jimmy Smith rap, and they released it. And someone found out about it, someone with a past history with the defendants, and he got a license for that composition. Actually, he attained some of the rights, and he went and sued for copyright infringement. Drake's team claimed they were permitted to use it based on fair use, and fair use was a key issue. Fair use is when you've used a copyrighted work, but copyright law permits it because it's the kind of creative use that we like to see encouraged and not discouraged by copyright. And a key issue involving fair use was whether or not Drake's use was transformative. They made three arguments in favor of the use being transformative. The first was that they took something that said jazz is the only real music that's going to last, and they made it only real music is going to last, implying that all real music will last and survive. The second was they took something that was about the recording of Jimmy Smith's record and made it about the recording of Drake's record. And the third was they took a spoken word bit, rearranged parts of it, and put it onto an instrumental track. See if you can guess which of those the court decided was transformative. It was only the first. The second and the third, the court said, was not transformative. They're just typical derivative works for which you'd get a license. But the first one, they said Drake imparted a new meaning into it. Whereas the original was about jazz being the only real music, Drake made it into only real music is going to survive. And it was a large part based on that the court found it was transformative and thus fair use. So this is a very, very rare sampling fair use win. In the last 30 years, there have hardly been any court decisions in the U.S. based on sampling being fair use or not fair use, either way. So I would caution you against reading too much into it. I think there was a lot going on here, including the fact that they got a license for the sound recording, the fact that they used a spoken word bit that was essentially a throwaway on the original record and put it onto an instrumental track, even though the court said that wasn't part of what factored into the decision. I think you can heavily read into that. So even though we do have a court victory in favor of sampling and fair use, it is a rare one, and we don't know how much it's going to matter in the future.